Okay, I want to start with maintenance. And when I say maintenance, I want to say maybe an initial crop if necessary, and also to clean up some stuff. Now, look at this photo. It might look okay to you with the crop, but I want to make it a little bit better. I noticed that the chair down here is not exactly straight, and I have a little bit of I guess it's a piece of furniture that snuck into the photo. I'm going to go into the crop here, and what I want to do is actually take the straighten tool, and in this particular example, I'm going to take the chair, and I'm going to take this line in the bottom chair, and I'm going to drag a line here that goes with the bottom part of that chair. And then when I let go, Photoshop will automatically understand that it needs to straighten it for that bottom part of the chair. Now, he's not exactly in the middle. It's not like there's a rule of putting the subject exactly in the middle, but in this photo, it's going to look better if I do that. So I will put him back into the middle by dragging the right side. Again, I'm just using the crop tool here. I'm under the crop. And then what I'm going to do now is I do want to get back a little bit of that chair down here. So I'm going to Alt or Option, and then I'm going to click one of the corners and drag open. Now, as you can see, there's transparent areas, and that's very easy now that we can fill that up with generative AI. But I want to have him a little bit more up inside the photo. So I'm just going to take the arrow keys and I'm going to click down. I'm going to click up with the arrow to take him up a little bit. And this is where I want him. Okay. This is where I want him, but the thing is that I have this transparent area. So what I'm going to do here now, before I hit OK to finalize my crop, I'm going to go here into fill, and I'm going to change it to generative expand. And now when I hit OK, so what's going to happen is that as long as your computer is connected to the internet, so the generative AI of Photoshop will fill that up automatically for us. Not only that, it's going to give us 3 different variations of it. So take a look. See, just like that, magic. You have the 3 variations right here. You can click from the first one. You can check the second one. As you can see, small, but there are some differences. All right, so the first one, second one. Let's check the third one. Third one looks like the first one. But I think that there's something slightly more natural about the first one. There is a button here that if you press it, it's going to go into a high resolution. It will enhance the detail of what was added with the generative AI. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to click that, and it's going to work on it for a moment, and then that's it. It enhanced. Yeah, okay. So it's enhancing the details. And now I have the crop that I think is a lot better. I think that if I'm going to just Control or Command Z, I'm going to go back to where I was before. So this is where I was. And if I want to redo, just because I'm showing you like the before and after, I'm going to Control or Command Shift Z now to redo, and I'm going to show you how it looks now. And if you ask me, this looks a lot better. Second thing I want to do, if I have anything inside the photo that I want to kind of clean up and get out of the system before I start editing. So what I can do now is maybe Alt or Option and then scroll the mouse here, and I see that there's a little piece of hair here that I don't need, maybe another piece of hair here that I don't need. I might want to clean this dust. Now look, I'm not sure I would do that, but the thing is that it's just like I'm trying to also teach you. So if you see something which will in your photo be extremely unnecessary, so you can use the same tools that I'm using now and do that for whatever will happen in your photo. So what I'm doing here is actually I'm hovering over to the left here, and I have the remove tool. The remove tool has 3 options with AI. Generative AI is on, off, or auto, which may use generative AI. I'm just going to leave it on auto, and then I'm going to Alt and scroll. I'm going to Alt and scroll into the photo. And what's going to happen is that I'm going to focus here on the hair. I'm going to, it won't let me do it, and I'm going to tell you why. If I go here into layers, what's marked right now is the generative AI layer. So what I want to do now is, first of all, I'm just going to put my view, reset my view. So that will be controller command 0. And then I'm going to do something that I'm about to do a lot in this process of editing, which is Control Alt Shift E or Command Option Shift E on the Mac, which will actually take all the layers that are marked, and it's going to sum them up into one layer. So what I have here now, the top layer is summing up everything that I did into one layer, and I'm going to keep doing that in the processing edit as I continue. What I want to show you is this. Now that I did that, all I need to do is go back to my remove tool, and I'm going to Alt or Option scroll the mouse. I'm going to get to where I want. I want to make this smaller, so I am going to press Alt and then right click and move the cursor to the left. As you can see, when I move it to the right, it grows bigger. When I move it to the left, it grows smaller. And then I make it really, really small, and then I'm just going to go over that little piece of hair here, and I'm going to give it a second, and it's just going to disappear. The same thing with that hair over here. And again, I'm not sure I would do this for my artistic needs, but I'm just showing you because you may have things that you really, really don't want. There are other ways of removing stuff that I will show you too. Another way is to actually take this rectangular marquee tool, or if you hover over, you can have the elliptical. Doesn't matter, any kind of marquee tool. I'm just gonna make a square here around it, and then the pop-up of the generative AI will come. I'm gonna hit generative fill here, and I'm not gonna write anything with the prompt. I'm just gonna hit generate, and you're gonna see that it does also a great job here. Again, this is only an example for, I think that originally I would just use the remove tool, but I wanted to show you that there's other ways of doing it. So as you can see, it did a perfect job here. I'm going to press Control or Command 0 to see the whole photo. And I don't know if there's anything, you know what? I do want to give you another example, one more example. Do you see here how it's not exactly ironed in his around his knee? So what I'm going to do here on this particular example is take the lasso tool, and again I'm going to Alt and scroll the mouse here, space and drag to move, and then I'm going to take this area and I'm just going to drag the mouse and draw these marching ants. Once I'm going to let go of the mouse, it's going to start marching ants here, and then again I'm going to choose the generative fill without writing any kind of a prompt, and I'm going to hit generate, and I'm going to give it a second, and you're going to see that Photoshop is going to give me 3 different variations, and one of them will be just a little bit more flat. It's just going to look a little bit more flattering. So that's something that you can also consider when you do that. At the first gaze, it looks unnatural to me, but that's because I'm also psychologically, I'm like really focusing on it. So I want to do Control or Command 0. Okay, and now I see that it still kind of looks not natural, but again, it's less noticeable because now I'm not like psychologically, I'm not focusing on it, but I will see what other variations I have here. So I'm going to scroll down, check out this second variation. Let's see that one. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And the third one, okay, as we all probably agree, the third one looks great. I'm going to check if there's a reason to press the enhance detail button right here, and yeah, again, great. So as you can see, the before and after, I'm just going to turn on and off the generative fill of this layer, and you can see the pants right around the knee. You can do that on the other one also. And again, if you had any kind of a dragon or a bird or any bus or anything in the background that you wouldn't want, you can just like take the lasso tool and mark the whole thing and then just go into generative fill, and it will probably go away. So I'm going to just Control or Command D to deselect what I just did. And that's about the maintenance. And now that everything is clean and cropped and straightened, it's not only a process that needs to be done, but it's also very convenient in the eyes. I feel a lot better. It's like having a clean kitchen before I go cooking. It feels a lot better to start editing from this point. So that's it for maintenance. And in the next video, we're going to start actually editing.